What's going on, everybody? Jukebox here, your host of the Stardom Podcast, coming at you from JG's Lounge. I got two guests with me today. First off, underneath me here's Baish. He was late, which is why it was a little delayed. This fucking guy. How you doing, man?
Swanky pad, Baish.
Thank you. You like my piano? That's nice.
With his fancy ass background screen there.
It's 100% real. What are you talking about? He always blurs when he's up against something.
That's right.
I'm a neck
Baish,
commander.
how you doing, man? It's 6 o'clock in the morning over there.
I'm good. I've been up since 5, so it's all right.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking tired myself, but it is what it is. I always enjoy doing shows, so sick or not, I don't mind doing an episode as long as I have a voice.
What's his name?
Vinny, man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm busy and good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm always good.
Is it 2 p.m. there? So you're probably already drinking beer.
No, I'm not drinking. I've been writing my ass off all morning, reviewing this book. I said I won't allow myself to drink till I finish the book. So,
nice. Irish man not drinking. That's weird.
Yeah, I haven't drank in like 6 or 7 months now. And yeah, I just been plugging away at this fucking book, man. Because like the whole plan is to try get it done and ready so I can launch the Kickstarter and then plug away and try hit a good review, a release date. Mm-hmm. And we have one already announced, and hopefully I don't have to push it back too far from there. But like, yeah, right now it's just I've been recording, writing, reviewing. That's all I've been doing.
That book
and how
better
long?
come out.
What'd you say?
That book better come out when it's supposed to. You sent me a little bit of it. I fucking read it. I want to finish it, but I can't.
Yeah. And that's kind of Vinny. That's kind of what this episode's going to be about. Since we kind of did last minute, I was like, "What can we do for a topic?" And I'm like, "Let's fucking promote Vinny's stuff." So awesome. Let's talk a little bit about your book, man. What's it called? What's it about?
The book is River Bones. It's a Western horror. I grew up like on a lot of Westerns. My late brother William showed me a lot of Westerns growing up and a lot of horror. So like a lot of the times that they were the kind of content I fed into. So that was obviously going to probably be the first thing I ever wrote was a Western horror, and it's a revenge story. It's about someone that suffers a great tragedy, and then he meets up with other people, and then they set out to investigate and see what the cause of this tragedy was. And when they set out into this greater world, all these different things unfold, and they find themselves in the center of these greater events outside of the personal tragedy that was suffered in the story.
Oh wow!
When he says tragedy, he's serious.
Yeah, is this like a sci-fi Western or just strictly Western?
It's a pure Western horror. It's got like everything that I love. Like pretty much, I love history. I love the period of time in the West. It was one of the few, probably the last kind of time where people really were free to a certain extent. The people that lived out in the West and all that land and all that, and the mythos around that period of time. It's always fascinated me. And so I looked at a period of time in America that was very tumultuous, and that was post-Civil War America. And I thought like I could really look at a place in time that was had a great significance. And I decided what I could do at that time, because of all the lawlessness and upheaval in America at that time, that I could place a very horrific aspect to it, to try and encapsulate the lawlessness and the kind of wildness of the West and the Midwest post-Civil War. And that's what I did. I just looked at history and looked at the struggle of the Native American people, and decided to use something else as an allegory for their struggle. And then that's pretty much what it's based on. It's kind of based post-Civil War America, and it's very much horror. Baish has read some of it. Baish read the first 4 chapters in earlier draft. Yeah. It's slightly different now, but like he's seen it. It's very gore heavy. I don't hold back. I do not hold back.
No, he does not.
That's good. that's good. At least that's what I like to read. So that's good, man. Yeah. I like how you say Western, like America. So I'm guessing Western Ireland isn't that interesting.
No, well, it is. Like, Ireland's got its own history, but like the Wild West, and then how like the Wild West and post-Civil War America, and how that all started shaping each other, like post-Civil War, and then like just the whole thing, like we still had issues with slavery and how Native Americans were treated, and the kind of the whole idea of the land was supposed to be settled and civilized, but was very lawless still, because you had this upheaval from what belonged to the Confederacy and what belonged to the Union, and then you just had this whole era of time that's so interesting to me, and that's why I focused in on post-Civil War America and the Midwest and the Wild West and shit like that, because it's just so fascinating.
It is, man. I love a lot of older Western films. I can't really name one off the top of my head, but
I said that in a podcast
like Cowboy
before,
versus
man.
Aliens.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, when you want your movie knowledge to desert you, and someone asks you to list something off the top of your head, it goes
Just
straight
said Young
out.
Guns
Young Guns,
Young
1
Guns.
and 2.
easily.
That's
love those
definitely an
movies.
old school Western film right there.
Yeah, Open Range, great movie.
You also are getting ready to kickstart another show as well, right? A podcast.
Yeah, we launched the podcast there. First episode we recorded on Sunday with Baish himself there, and Roman Sandquist, and it's called Howling at the Moon, where we're going to just take a look at conspiracy theories and kind of other worldviews, but we're not going to we're not trying to champion these conspiracies or trying to get people to buy into them. We're trying to throw an objective eye and study the real world and also study the real world explanations for these. Like, we looked at the UFOs, and I put forward evidence of sightings that are unexplained, and I could put forward real world explanations that might be the reason for them, that kind of way. So that's what we want to do. We want to examine conspiracy theories and other worldviews and all these crazy shit. But we're not trying to sell these conspiracies to anyone. We're just trying to throw an objective eye on them, study them in the way other people would, but look at them openly, and not like what I see a lot of podcasts when they talk about certain things. We'll talk about QAnon next. They're very derisory. You're not going to reach people by trashing them. So I think you need to do is you need to look at what could have sent him down this spiral, and how can you get them out of it, instead of saying, oh, you're an idiot, you're a dummy, you're this and the other. That's not how you reach people. Like, so look at things objectively, and then try to look at it with an open mind, and then put the evidence forward for people to decide what for themselves. Like,
yeah, man, I like that. That's kind of along the Clash of the Casters vibe, except it's more specific of a niche.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's awesome, because you also got Dark Side of the Moon and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So that's gonna be interesting. That's too much for me, man.
Yeah, man. We record twice a month only with Howling at the Moon. That's the plan. Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you'll just do a couple things back like in one day, just get them knocked out.
Yeah. Well, no, we do like 2 weeks apart, because we want to do a bit of research on the topic. So I like what I did was I took a 2-week deep dive in UFOs and looked at all the modern sightings and tried to collate as much information as possible in 2 weeks, so I can be informed, get images, get clips. And what I did then, straight after the UFO thing, I just started doing a deep dive in QAnon and see what these people believe in, why they believe in it, and at the end of the day, you just bring up the clips and the players and all this kind of thing, and people can decide for themselves why these people think this way. I don't want people to think that way, because like, it is outlandish, a lot of the stuff, and it can lead to violent acts. So I when you look at something as specific as QAnon, I think people should look at why they think that way and not try and imitate the way they think.
Right.
Kind of way.
Right. Baish down there, all quiet, dude. You got the Return of the Critics, and you also got that other show. What's your other show called now?
It's Baish and Kika. So
how's it going?
I argue with some other lady. She's cool. We just have topics. Usually it's like about relationships and stuff. So we'll argue back and forth about stuff. And I mean, I'm always right, but I mean, she throws some stuff in there, sprinkles some stuff.
You can always you have your own opinion, even if it is wrong.
Yeah, obviously, opinions like assholes. We all have one. Hers is wrong, but it happens.
Dude. So our buddy Vinny is up here finally cracking into the social media life, so that's good.
Yeah,
taking a lot of selfies.
Yeah, well, I have some from a while back, and I was like, shit. While I put up on Instagram, I was like, well, I have some selfies showing off some artwork. So, I'm not a very original person.
You need like some blurred images of you half naked, just getting out of the shower. Hashtag FIP.
Oh,
all right, hey, so So we discussed your book title, River of Bones. So what I picked for the topic, I wanted to make it as interesting as possible, is I found things that have been found washed up on shore. And then we're going to replace the name of Bones to that item and then talk about how different the book would be if that's what it was about. How's that sound? Pretty good?
Amazing.
All right, good. All right, so first up, May 27th, 1990, and just off the coast of Seattle, the freighter Hansa Carrier met a sudden storm. And as the freighters often do, they lost cargo, 21 steel containers, 5 of which had 61,280 Nike shoes that fell into the ocean and found washed ashore all along the coast.
Just do it.
I got the book for this already. I got it in my head right now. I got it in my head right now. It's gonna be racist, but it's gonna be awesome.
You say it's gonna be racist.
It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna be honest. If I heard that it spilled all those shoes, I'd be out there trying to catch them so I can sell them. Man, they're probably worth some serious money.
Yeah, dude, fucking right, man.
Well, that's different. It would be like River of like Nike or River of Shoe.
River of Nike.
And then it would be like it would be like a book of the young story of how to get a young black man to get to the NBA. The shoe washes up and you give it to him and just start dunking on people. It's good.
I assume like a movie called River of Nikes and it just being about some high school basketball team's rise to success.
I guess we can go team oriented. I went one person. We can call him something, Jamal or something.
Or hey, you could make your Western a sci-fi. I mean, if he's walking around with Nikes, he's definitely from out of time.
Oh man, I have a sci-fi plan, so that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Man, in the 90s, what else was popular besides Nike? Was it
Puma
and or Fila? Fila was a popular brand too, right?
Fila, remember them? Fila.
I remember Velcro shoes were pretty popular in the old people.
Or do you remember tearaway pants with the buttons on the side?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys were tear. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. It's because you'd wear them before like training, and you just tear them off. They're actually for basketball.
I never played basketball. No.
Were parachute pants pretty popular in the 90s still, or no? I know they were in like the 70s and 80s.
I think like early 90s because of MC Hammer.
Hammer time.
Yeah, I always had just like knockoff shoes from Walmart. So
yeah, man, I can remember just like getting these Power Ranger shoes. And I was like, yeah, everyone's gonna think it's cool. And then Power Rangers gone out of fashion by then. I was like, oh, that's why I have them. They were cheap.
I just figured you used to walk around like bare feet.
Yeah,
you're in a village. I just figured
I used to walk around my bare feet the whole time I was a kid until I like cut my foot open, got stitches, and I was like, shit, better start wearing shoes. I used to walk around in my bare feet everywhere, like outside, on stones, on gravel, didn't give a fuck. I had like hobbit feet. You know what I mean? Like,
I used to wear sandals a lot, especially around here during the summer. It gets hot. I know California gets pretty hot too, but like I would step on like nails and shit and then fucking cut my foot open, and I can't do it, man. I had to put shoes on.
You guys don't look where you guys are walking. What's going on here? You cut his foot
open. There's a lot of trash around here, man.
Man, stepping on a nail is so unnatural. Like when you step on a nail and you lift your foot up and the board is still stuck to your foot.
Oh yes. When you have like these thin ass flip flops on and it just goes right through it. There's no tension at all.
Yeah, man. I was wearing socks one time. I was coming out the back of our house and we were renovating. Like we were kind of doing up the side. Like he was like partitioned 2 rooms. I came out and stood on a board and the nail went straight into my heel. And I lift my foot up and the board was still on my foot. And I was like, what do I do? And you have to contemplate for a second, ripping that fucker out of your foot, man. It's horrible.
Basically, you're saying you've never stepped on anything.
I've never stepped on glass or a nail or anything like that. I have pretty big feet too, so it's kind of. I would think I would have at some point.
You got skis for feet.
I do.
What size shoe you wear? 16s? Are you serious?
Triple E wide.
See, I'm 13s, but mine are very narrow. They're not wide. So most of the shoes I find are wide naturally. So I got all the space on the side so they clonk around when I'm walking.
At least you can find shoes. I have to order my shoes.
The only ones that work for me are Chuck Taylors because they're usually very narrow.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Would you not have more big shoes over in America because of basketball players and stuff?
No, usually basketball players they have to order their stuff.
Oh, and they probably get it from the sponsors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So stuff is made for them.
Sons of bitches.
I'm not that known yet. I'm not that known yet, so I can't have people make me shoes.
Well, at the 16s, at some points you gotta like find them. You gotta get them custom made. You have to like order them online if you want certain ones.
That's how all my shoes are. They're custom made.
There's like a company and is looking at the amount of leather and it's like, we could make this couch or we have this shoe order from California.
Nah, they got some 6-year-old in China making the shoes for them.
That's messed up. He's 4. Don't say he's 4.
He actually enjoys it, you know.
Yeah. He's like, yes, today I get to make Nikes.
The shoes the size of my bed.
Yeah. Get to make them but never wear them.
All right. That would be super ironic though.
That would be
shoes all day in your bare feet. like one day I'll get to have these shoes.
Oh man. He gets done with it. He's like, oh man, I could totally sneak this, and they just come like grab it out of his hands and piss him off.
And they're like, it's defective, and they just throw it out instead of giving it to him.
they beat him with them, tell him to redo
it. Oh shit, that's funny. That's good. That's a show right there. Boom.
River of Nike. 4-year-old Asians getting beat with shoes.
See a Nike symbol on the side of his face? Like what? Oh man, I tried to steal a shoe one time. And
sounds like a lawsuit just waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's all good.
They swooshed him.
Nike like has to put up like an ad saying we had no part in the making of this film.
That's good shit.
Oh, man.
All right, next up. A Japanese man discovered 4 backpacks carrying 80 kilograms of cocaine in 2013.
Interesting.
The total stash estimated to be worth $48 million.
What? Jesus. Obviously, because we know about it, it didn't end well for him.
Oh man, like, would you? If I found a backpack washed up on the shoreline with that much cocaine, I don't know if I'd be more worried about who's looking for it or how to hide it for long enough time to where I can sell it.
Oh man, oh man, like it'd be so much harder if you found product instead of money. Because with money, you're like, oh, I can keep some of it and bury the rest for it. But like with the coke, you'd have to sell it to someone.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem. Like,
does cocaine expire though? I mean, if it's packaged right, it doesn't expire.
Cocaine doesn't expire because Pablo Escobar was hiding it in the jungle and shit.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So like they're still pulling up his like containers of money and products and shit like to this day. You know, River of Powder would be a good
River of Powder.
I like that.
The Rise of Pablo Escobar, River of Powder.
River of Powder, yeah. So we're going more drug cartel on this one rather than Western.
I like it.
A Western drug cartel, I love it.
Oh, it's even better. Yeah.
That would be pretty fucking dope, though.
That actually you could make that a pretty interesting film. That you could do several of them actually.
Yeah, like a cartel coming up from Mexico or something to take over. Like, you know, that'd be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Taking California back.
I imagine if I was going to be a coke dealer, I would do like a flower package, and I would actually put an expiration date on it to
They'll be like fucking signing it and everything. Yeah. Mailing address, return to sender.
Yes.
that would since this is fantasy. I'm not saying I've ever done this, but like since I work in a store, I would empty all the packages of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And flour and put that shit in those packages of sugar and flour and then have it and then be like and then fucking sell it.
Everyone having their coffee, they're like, this is some good sugar. Some good sugar.
No, I'm gonna sell it as cocaine. I'm gonna sell it as cocaine, but this is my way of like hiding the product and not having to worry about bringing it out and someone finding it.
You see like breaking news of like the shipment of sugar that just got dumped in the ocean. Then you see Baish out there trying to gather it all up real fast.
See me swimming like, what are you doing? Like,
That's just sugar, man. Let it go.
I don't like waste.
Yeah, it's like, do you see that fish swam by 300 miles an hour?
If I lose the sugar, my boss is gonna kill me. I don't think you understand.
He is not a happy man. Overtime is not a problem here.
Have any of you tried cocaine ever? No. I've had it 2 or 3 times when I was younger, and it just wasn't really that interesting. It's not really. I'd rather just drink 12 cups of coffee.
I've never done a drug, so that would be like
really never in your life.
Like I've never done I've never smoked weed. I've never done any like any shit like that.
Right.
I've only had 2 drinks of alcohol in my life, so, and one was for my wife's birthday, the other one was for, I forgot what it was, but it was like a sip.
What did you drink? Champagne?
No, it was I'm an idiot. So the first time I ever had a drink was because I picked the drink because it had bacon in it.
What?
It was like 50-year-old aged whiskey. And
that's good.
I drank that shit and it was just like,
hold on. Did you say a bacon flavored whiskey?
Well, it had candy bacon in it. So it was the whiskey and they put the little cube of bacon in it, I guess, to offset like the sweetness or whatever the hell it is. And my wife was like, "Why are you drinking that for your first drink? Like, get like a girly drink." And I was like, "Oh, I'm a fucking man. I mean, drink what I want to drink." And then like the first drink, I was like, "I don't want this. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it."
Whiskey's not nice. If you like whiskey, you generally love it. But if you don't like it, you hate it.
See, I like whiskey to just like sip on the rocks. You know, not anything crazy. You just sip on it while you're doing some shit.
The nicest I think I've ever tasted whiskey in a drink was with ginger ale and ice. Some dude recommended to me. He was a chef, and I'd never drank it before. It was pretty decent. The ginger ale pretty much cancels out the taste of the whiskey, which helps.
Yeah. My wife for Father's Day got me it's a cocktail smoker. So you set it on you put the whiskey in the glass, you put this topper on it, and you put the wood pellets in it, and you torch it, and the smoke kind of goes into the glass. And you let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then you shake it over some ice, pour it back over, and it's so good, man.
Futuristic.
Gives you like this smoked flavored whiskey.
Fancy.
I drink it like this.
Ooh.
In my little
pinky up, baby.
He's like, because I'm a classy lady.
I'm feeling fancy.
Yeah.
All right, next up. A container the size of a tractor trailer washed up on a North Carolina beach, and it was full of Doritos. It says residents were quick to nab as many bags of the chips as possible.
Would you call it not your bones?
Nacho. Replace the river for Nacho.
Good. I like that.
People like scavenging and fighting and killing each other over bags of Doritos.
It's like how it's actually the origin story for Doritos, the company. It's like, in the lawless West, one man wanted to make a tortilla chip, triangular in shape and crunchy in texture. But before he could do that, he had to take on a massive cartel of outlaws. This is the origin story of Doritos. Taste the crunch.
He could have Coke on his lip. So he's wearing Nikes, running around like with bags of chips and shit, just to correlate all those shows into
I told you the Cool Ranches are mine.
Fighting over different flavors.
Yeah, what's the artificial flavor and the really addictive one? What's that one called?
Just the nacho is the basic one, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
The red bag.
They put like a flavor on it. It's like super addictive.
Yeah, it's
mono.
MSG, monosudoglycerin or something.
Yeah, MSG. The good stuff.
I mean, you might as well just sprinkle MSG on everything, right?
They have those packets on Amazon.
Do they?
Yeah, it's like I saw that shit. It was like 100 packets for like $80. Like,
instead of shipping food over to other countries that need food, why don't we just send them MSG and sprinkle it on everything?
Like, Pour this MSG on this bark. It's delicious.
Well, you know,
I swear, it was delicious.
you know those farmers that crop dust their fields with chemicals. You just come along, swoop
Crop
real
dust
low to these
MSG?
villages, just drop some
man.
MSG on the whole town.
That'd be great, like a cloud of smoke. Like, what's that? The air tastes great. Go outside with a hot dog. Just sit there like this. Like,
it's a flavor cloud.
everyone would be so dead. After a while, it'd be so dead. It'd just be
Like
great.
eating
Just,
each other would be like cannibalism because everyone tastes delicious.
like, oh, you taste so good. What? Yeah, you taste so good.
I didn't realize this was edible. They're eating their clothes.
Shit. So good.
Oh shit.
You get some like people who are touring and stuff. They're like, man, I thought all these people were supposed to be skinny. They're all super bloated and like have cloth hanging out of their mouths.
Would you call that movie Cloudy with a Chance of MSG?
That's why you're a writer. That's why you're a writer, Vinny. Right there. That's good shit.
Oh man, that's good. And I don't even know what MSG looks like. I imagine it is a powder, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a brown kind of like it looks like a salt and pepper.
Yeah,
and then it's just in a little package. I've seen people pour it. I've literally gone to like to pub places, and like I see people with MSG packets, and they just dumping the shit in their soup.
Wait, you can actually buy MSG?
Yeah.
Man, dude.
I thought I was kidding when I said their packets. Yeah, no, they have actual packets of MSG that people pour on shit. Like,
you go into a restaurant and it's like salt, pepper, MSG.
Dumping that shit in there. At one point, people thought it caused cancer, so a bunch of soups and shit stopped using it. Or they put MSG on the cup and they put the little circle and the little cross through, where it's like no MSG. I still eat it. I don't care.
I need some of that for my kids. They're so picky on what they eat. If I just like sprinkled MSG on everything, they'd probably eat it. You know,
like my kids,
man,
they used to be picky when they eat. I just told them to eat, or you're not going to get anything else.
Right. Yeah, we usually have to force our kids to eat some things because they're so picky on what they eat. It's like if you don't eat this, then you're not going to get to go play, or you don't get to go do this because they won't.
And the thing is, then if you don't keep kind of making them eat it, then they won't acquire a taste for it. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened to me. Like I didn't eat a shit ton of fucking veg and shit when I was growing up because I wasn't forced to eat it. I was like, nah, I don't like it. And then when I got older, I was like, okay, the only way I can actually eat this healthy shit is if I acquire a taste for it. So then you figure out ways of eating it in ways that you can actually enjoy, mixing it with meat and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean?
He ferments potatoes and drinks it. That's
I just like I blend the mince and the potatoes together and just drink it off. Like
I did really tell you, Dylan, we're gonna do a foreign exchange. I'm gonna go to Ireland and he's gonna come here.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna lose his mind here. And I'm gonna go there and just chill.
Dude, without you bodyguarding me, I wouldn't last a week in California.
I think you would
have you ever left Ireland, or have you always been in Ireland?
I've been to Holland, like the Netherlands, and I've been to Scotland. That's it.
Yeah, he loses mine in Cali.
There's just so much shit here. Just on like one street corner, you just be like, oh my god, why there's so many people?
Like 6 hours walking one street.
Where's all the trees and the grass? All I see is concrete and buildings.
And hookers and homeless dudes peeing on the wall.
Oh man,
you're really missing out, Vinny.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's the joys of life, the spice of life, man. You know,
it's a beautiful thing.
If we were to go there, you remember when we talked about like camping in his yard?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Even our camping equipment would be too much technology for you.
Well, not mine. Fucking Dylan over here went camping, and I swear his camping equipment looked like he was in Shangri-La over there. I was like, dude, if that's camping, I want to go camping.
Inflatable couches, sectional. My wife, yeah, dude. My wife's like, it's like these little side tables, like floor mats. And it's like you're in this like little studio apartment, basically, out in the middle of nowhere.
Nah, dude, camping over in Ireland is like, let's go here for a weekend and see if we survive.
You don't use tents; you use like fall down tree limbs and stuff to build your little tents.
What you do is you use the body of the first person that falls.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're like,
So,
here's
no.
our tent. You know.
So you know, no, be dead real quick. I'd use him as bait.
It's all cold. You like cut his stomach open so you can sleep inside there, so you're nice and warm.
Thanks, Noel. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, just like time insane, you know.
That's good shit.
All right. Next up here, okay. In 2012, employees were opening a beachside bar for the day when they noticed something out of the ordinary. What was it? It says an employee told Reuters it was a life-size Lego toy.
Sex doll.
And they don't. It even says that they have no idea where it came from. Like nobody ever reclaimed it. It just washed up on shore.
So like a giant Lego block.
Yes, like a Lego person. Like
Lego person.
Lego man.
Oh my god! Like definitely came from Sweden. He probably escaped the factory.
Yeah,
I can imagine it. I can imagine it immediately. What happened was his people are oppressed. Like they're fed up of working in Lego, and he was a guy that was sent out into the wild to spread the truth. And what happened was he stowed away on a ship. They found him in the cargo hull. He fought with the crew back and forth. Fought. He ran for his life. They got him to the edge. He jumped over. Only chance of surviving. But what happened was he drowned, washed ashore, dead. The savior, another savior lost. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Peace up, Lego brother.
I wrote a synopsis for a movie, right?
I was just thinking of like CERN doing projects on like these giant Legos.
That's good shit.
Like sending them into different dimensions.
Inside this Lego man is like this weird God particle that's being clashing.
It's like ready, subject number 44. And it's a guy with his little like pincer hands. No, get away from me. Not this time. I could have been so many things. Why do I have to be this?
That's good.
You like touch his torso and then you like go into another dimension.
Everything's Lego. It's great.
I see this like weird sci-fi Lego Batman vibe going here. River of giant Lego man.
Oh man.
It'd be better if he came with accessories. So like if he was washed up and then you had like all these other outfits and stuff that were in a bag next to him.
Block outfits.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. This is a little block cardigan.
Instagram.
I wonder if you go to that beachside restaurant today, if he's just like chilling on the wall next to the building.
Would you call it like Legos of the Fall?
That's good. That's good.
Like the fact that nobody like claimed him is kind of weird because Legos are not cheap. So a man-sized Lego would probably be very expensive.
Claim him, man. If they claim him, people are going wondering why did this guy wash ashore, and then Lego are going to have to let people into the facility. They're going to see all the slave labor they have going on with all these poor Lego bastards.
It's some like 50-year-old fat dude that just chills in his house all day. He just has this massive Lego that he lost.
Could you imagine though, like the Legos in Scandinavia, if the little Lego dudes, the life-size guy, which is actually a lost race of Scandinavians that they enslaved to work under, like, you know what I mean?
I like how all of our shit's going back to slavery with some kind of like renounced fucking race.
It's the history of our race, man. Like of our species, it's the history of our species. We're always enslaving one another like a motherfucker.
What is one of the ideas that we were actually humans were placed here by like some golden speckled humans, but really they're Legos. They're just massive Lego people.
Like we're just Legos. They just put us together like
yes.
Man, like, could you imagine how shit you would be to try to shake someone's hand if both of them like were like Lego hands? It'd be the worst.
You gotta go sideways.
Ever.
Yeah. Just clap. And if you got stuck, your arm comes off. Pull back.
Prepare for clasping.
Or every now and then you get the piece that has the extra little bit of plastic on it. It'd be so uncomfortable.
Can't get really in there. You're just like,
There's your hangnails for you. There's that extra plastic on your hand.
Imagine how long it takes him to walk across the ground because nobody they have the little holes in their feet for the blocks. He's like, oh, fuck.
Everybody just be sliding everywhere. Oh, man. All right. In 2014, a Danish cargo ship ran into hurricane force winds off the coast of northern France, dumping more than 500 containers of cigarettes.
Nice.
They were Marlboro Reds, by the way. That could play into your Western. There's some Marlboro cigarettes.
He smokes cigars, Virginian tobacco in the store.
Oh yeah. Oh really? He really does. Nice.
Yeah, I smoke because I smoke Virginian tobacco myself.
So you need to throw in some copyright, Marlboro ads into your.
No way, man! Get sued like a motherfucker. Tobacco companies do not mess around.
Oh no shit! I mean, they have to be pretty serious to be selling tobacco.
Yeah,
everybody wants to kill them. They're like, my loved one died because of your cigarettes.
They're like,
they smoked the cigarettes. Their fault.
Yeah, they're like, I'll just wait you out. What you mean? It's like, you'll see.
You'll see.
You'll see.
You're like 5 years.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll give you some 3 packs. There you go.
Well, you got Vinny over there rolling his cigarettes still. I mean, that's primitive enough.
Yeah.
God, man. He's in a damn village.
Man, cost of tobacco in Ireland is insane, man.
It must not be too expensive around here because I'm always seeing dudes like emptying out blunts to make their own blunts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What they call secret agents? Is that what they call them?
What's that?
Where you make it look like a cigarette?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, around here, people buy like cigars and they'll scoop out the tobacco and then they'll like roll their own blunts out of it.
Yeah, put weed in there.
Yeah. It's usually weed.
Yeah,
it's usually weed.
Tobacco's not expensive here. Because I have a dude I used to work with. He like buys it by like the 8-pound like bag.
Yeah.
And then he makes his own cigarettes.
8-pound bag. Oh my god.
I think he spends like $140 for like each bag.
They shouldn't even weigh that.
But how much does that last him a while? Because tobacco goes bad pretty quick.
It lasts him about a month, but he makes like a shitload of cigarettes because he smokes like at least 2 packs a day.
Fuck. Man, I smoke 1 pouch a week.
A pouch a week.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you guys have Bugler there? The Bugler brand?
No.
When I was like,
they have like St. Thomas and other kind of shit over there, like the Fiddler brand. And
I smoke an American brand. I smoke Amberleaf. It's Virginian tobacco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I smoke. I used to smoke Marlboro Gold or Marlboro Light. They used to be called Marlboro Light, but because it gave the insinuation that it's actually they might be slightly better for you than Marlboro Red, that they actually European law came and no company was allowed to call their cigarettes light anymore, so they had to call them gold or whatever. But I used to smoke them, but the cost of cigarettes is insane over here. Like it's like 15 quid for like a box of 20 or some shit. Like
that's crazy.
I like when he says like quid and like petrol and shit, because it's just like it's third world fucking country.
It's so different for here.
So
fuck you.
It's okay, little boy.
I used to go to this place called Diebel's. It's like a fancy tobacco store for like rich men, and I mean you could buy like just loose tobacco. They just like weigh it on a scale, and there's like a wall of different kind of like scent types of tobacco, and I just tried a different one each month. But that was like 10 years ago when I smoked. Now I don't smoke. So
I want to start smoking cigars.
See,
cigars are so nice.
I do like cigars. I do like cigars. I mean, I haven't had one in a long time. Yeah.
But buy your Cohiba. If you're gonna buy a cigar, buy your Cohiba. They're the nicest. They're so fucking smooth, like Cuban cigars. If you still, I know. No, he lifted that embargo, or did you put it back? Did Obama lift that embargo on trade with Cuba?
I have no idea.
I don't think he did.
No,
I think he might have, but I don't. I think they're still like illegal. It's a certain amount. If you're caught with, it's still illegal.
Yeah, smoke one. I'm sure people sell them over there.
Oh yeah, they sell everything over here. Like some dude offered me a monkey yesterday at my other job.
Oh, what?
A monkey?
A fucking monkey.
Like a spider monkey?
Yeah.
And you just see it run across the background, basically like, no, I didn't buy it.
This is my friend Chim Chim. He's just gonna sit with us and talk. It's gonna be great. He's awesome.
he tries to pass it off as one of the neighbor kids.
Like this is a little hairy kid. Don't worry. He's only 2 years old.
I'm just
he's self-conscious about his tail. Don't mention the tail.
Don't worry about that.
It's just a costume. He's just running around. Like
I'm telling you, we need to just spend the $2,000 and just take a trip to Ireland and just like, because they're gonna see me and be like, oh, black person.
If we're going to Ireland, it's gonna have to be my whole family though, because they're gonna want to go.
Just tell them you're going to the store.
I'll be back in 3 days. Do we need anything else besides milk?
Oh man, there's loads of different ethnicities over here. We're like there's loads. Like there's
Do you have any Mexicans over there?
Not too many. Like in Dublin there'd be more like a Latin population, and then there's loads of Brazilians in the west of Ireland.
Really?
Because of Galway in particular, and it's probably because like fishing and shit like that. They probably have fishing backgrounds when they moved over here, so they probably moved to the west coast. But like with UCD and the major colleges up in Dublin, you get loads of people coming in, and then like with us being a part of the EU, we have loads of immigrants, a lot of Polish people, a lot of Lithuanians, Latvians, like a lot of people moved over from Africa as well. A lot of Nigerian people living here, Ghanaians.
There's lots of people from Pakistan, think of Ireland, I just think of like around here, a lot of your small towns are like the crackhead guys who got in trouble from the law, so they like escaped to like these small towns out in the middle of nowhere. That's what I think of Ireland as.
No, I think people under the height of like 5'5", walking around saying "top of the morning." That's what I think of.
Yeah, Ireland's like it's a tiny island, but it's really varied in parts. Like Dublin's this big, massive, built-up city. Cork's another city, but it's more like kind of like older, like in tradition in terms of like how it looks. In terms of Dublin's more modernized, but and you have like certain parts, like the middle part of Ireland's very rural. Like where I'm from is the most Midland county, and we're very rural, and a lot of the counties around us are very rural. So like on the coast, there's more cities, like Galway's a city, Cork's a city, Dublin's a city, but in the center of it, it's very rural. So when you go to somewhere like Dublin, it's way more modernized than where I'm from.
Yeah, you're middle of the damn country, aren't you?
Yeah, we're the only county that doesn't touch another county that touches a body of water. We're literally the Midlands, like the middle of the country.
My mom's from Cork, so
from where?
From Cork.
Oh.
Mm. And you go down to Cork and they talk like this. Yeah.
Have you been to Ireland then, Baish, or no?
Yeah, like twice. But I went, and it was we went to Dublin, and we were in Cork for a little bit, but we were in Dublin because, like you said, it's like the major part.
Yeah. It sounds accurate. It seems like a lot of like the islands, like the dude from Australia I had on the other day. He's like, all the population is on the coastlines
because the rest of it's uninhabitable.
It's like Jamaica. It's like Jamaica. Like if you're near the water and stuff, it's really nice. There's the resorts and other stuff. But if you go inland, you better come with an army because they will rob you and try to do other shit to you.
It's not because,
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Like they will actually, if you go visit, they don't they even warn you not
to
go?
They tell you don't go within a mile of the inland of the city. Like don't go unless you have family and long-standing family. Because my dad is Jamaican or was Jamaican, so like we went a couple of times over to visit family, and like we went inland because like my family's roots have been there for a long time, but. If I think one time I went with somebody, they told him to stay at the resort because him going inland, they'd be giving us looks and shit. And so,
damn.
Is that because of the poor towns and stuff that used to be there?
Yeah, there's a lot of poor towns, and usually in Jamaica, the more you bleach your skin means the more money that you have.
Oh, shit.
So bring like a white person with you or something else, they would think you got like a shitload of money. They live in like it's like Jalisco and like Mexico in those like shacks and shit. That's kind of like how it is down like more inland. It's like super like poor
shanty towns and
yeah.
I read the Bob Marley's book about Bob Marley's called Catch a Fire. It's really, really well done. It kind of goes into the whole mysticism behind Rastafarianism and shit like that as well. Like it's really, really cool. Like it goes from the start of his life, and at the same time, it tells the story of this prince in Ethiopia and his rise to power and him taking revenge about these guys to kill his family. And it's really, really interesting. It gives you a really good idea of like what was like growing up in Jamaica. And then he was kidnapped at one stage and brought to Trenchtown because he was kidnapped by his birth father, who was from Wales. He was a naval officer, and he was stolen away for like a year. And if it wasn't for him being kidnapped, he never would have met like Pete McIntosh, like, and Buddy Whaler, who ended up being in his band, and they created this fascination with music. So it's really, really weird, Bob Marley, like, because like if he'd never been kidnapped, we might not have grown into this like music icon that we know today, because he met two guys in Trenchtown when he was kidnapped, like, to end up being in his band.
Nice. So the moral of the story is get kidnapped.
Get kidnapped.
Get kidnapped. If you want to go places, get kidnapped.
Get kidnapped.
That works on multiple levels.
You having a bad day? Get kidnapped.
Just get kidnapped.
Oh,
you want a new life? You want a new life? Just get kidnapped.
Exactly.
It's like, you want to go on Britain's Got Talent? No, just go get kidnapped. Jesus Christ, do what Bob Marley did. Show some resolve, commitment.
Stop crying. What's wrong with you?
Get in his van, I said.
You know you want that candy. Get in.
You want to be a star?
Get in my van. Put this thing on your head. Let's do this. So bad. So bad.
Start like a shipping service for people who can't afford like plane rides.
There you go. Like, we're gonna come to your house. We're gonna put a bag over your head.
A third of the price.
Pay
me $500.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick where you're going, but I'll come get you and take you somewhere.
It's like a mile away from your house. What the hell? New things. I get to walk home. Sweet.
Request a refund.
He comes and does it again. Just gives the refund. Somewhere else.
All right. Next up. On Aberdeen Beach in Scotland back in 2011, a shopping cart was found and randomly washed on shore. I didn't think this was that interesting, except for the fact of if river of shopping carts sounds like it sounds like Black Friday shopping here.
It would be nice. It's like an island. It's kind of like Ireland or whatever, right? And Black Friday has just gotten out of control.
Yeah.
So somebody tries to take a TV that somebody else wanted, and they're running near the coastline, and they get like tackled or killed in a fucking horrible way. And the cart just dips into the water and it washes ashore somewhere else. There's a single thing of blood on the handle still sitting there.
It's like a haunted shopping cart because of the death that was involved.
Nice.
Do you guys? Is there a lot of Black Friday shopping out there in Ireland or no?
There is, yeah, but like a lot of it's online, really, because
really?
Yeah, like there is major stores over here and shit like that, but like our major store in Laois would be Tesco, but like it wouldn't be anything compared to like a Costco or a Walmart in terms of its size.
Yeah.
And same with the population here is not as big as like a major metropolitan city in America. So like you have chaos, but like it's Irish chaos. Or like lads, will you get out of the way for fuck? You know what I mean?
Like, two guys fighting over a pair of Nikes.
Yeah, you know. But like I think like you wouldn't have the same competition for the products.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? So you have that kind of same, a lot more people be going. You might see pictures up in Dublin and places like that where they have lines waiting for big retailers to open and shit like that. Right. But like you don't have the same rush like you do in America, where they literally just go feed you to the wolves. Like, you know what I mean? They're just like, you want your discount, earn it. You know what I mean?
Baish, have you ever been to the stores like at like 3 a.m. waiting in line for something?
No.
I've done it twice.
And
not only that, like you wait in line for one product. So there's like these pallets of wrapped product, and you got somebody standing over the product, making sure nobody gets it. And even then, that doesn't work every time. And then you're waiting for like 3 or 4 hours, sometimes more than that, depending on the product. Then once you get it, then you have to wait in a 1.5 mile line to get checked out. And during all of this, there's people rushing in between you and bumping you to try and get around you to go get other shit.
Nah, I'm good.
What did you wait for?
I was still in my teens the last time I went, and it was a flat screen TV, so they were just now getting they were new. and it was only like a 32-inch. It wasn't anything crazy big.
Everybody remembers the first flat screen though. Like,
Dude, I remember when I first moved out of my mom's house, I had one of those box TVs, like the 65-inch box TVs. And I moved several houses and apartments with that thing, and that was a fucking nightmare.
Man, I had one of those like fat ass like Sony 32-inch TVs.
Yeah.
And like literally we moved house, and one time me and my brother Derek were putting it off the stairs, and we were just like, after we brought it onto my room that time, we're like, next house it goes in the sitting room. Because man, like he fell on the stairs and ended up just pushing the TV over him. I just used his body as a ramp.
That's fucked up.
Oh, thanks. This works so well.
Watch your face. Watch your face. There you go.
Body or something like greasing them up.
Shit, kids that just turned 18 probably don't even know what a box TV is.
Yeah, man.
No, they don't. Because
I remember
my son did
carry them like this. It's okay, I got it. I'm locking my legs.
Why does this thing weigh more than 20 pounds? I don't understand.
Because the components are huge. You find out, you crack it open, and there's just like a little tiny dude inside of it.
Yeah.
Just going like this. Come on.
Yeah.
Running on a little treadmill.
Yeah, just a little Lego dude.
Yeah, with his hands collapsed like this. Every time you hit the TV, he has to move it a little bit.
Your TV breaks because he literally dies.
That's fucked up. Like, my TV's not working anymore. You just throw it away. Not knowing there's a dead little person in there.
What's that rattling sound?
Oh, dude. That would be fucked up. That was real.
Yeah,
there was one person in there, he just fucking dies and disintegrates.
Return to Scandinavia. That's weird. That's Japanese TV. Weird.
Turns out he actually used that as an escape pod to get out of.
It's a biggest fucking little death chamber.
It's like the Japanese are like trafficking these little Lego dudes, and they're promising freedom, but then they're putting them inside of like electrical equipment.
Like, have you seen Mark? Oh yeah, Mark
allegedly.
Mark got away. They took him, and he got shipped somewhere else.
That Lego dude that drowned, was there any TVs in that ship? I wonder. Interesting.
He was just stuck in a 65-inch TV. It was Dylan's TV.
It was mine actually.
It's like a few episodes time, Howling at the Moon, or like the Lego conspiracy. The building blocks of life.
Like we can put it into your Western film where like that's how they like stored people who were running away, like slaves that were escaping. They just stored them in the TVs.
This TV is great. It runs pretty good. It starts to die because they're just dying. No food and no water just in there.
This isn't a stagecoach. It's just some massive TV. I don't understand.
Imagine poor Lego dude. He's looking around. He's like, everything is not awesome.
Since we're on the topic of box TVs, this next one's pretty good. During the 1980s, novelty plastic phones in the shape of Garfield washed ashore in Brittany. Now these are, and the picture is actually a landline phone too. I mean, those don't even exist anymore.
No, I have a landline phone.
What's Garfield?
You do?
Yeah, I have a landline phone.
Do you
have
really?
a landline phone?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah, we get.
You have to do this with like turn it back on the little fucking dial thing?
No, it's one of them shitty cordless phones. You can barely hear anything.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like. I think for like Vinnie's village, they call like, "Hey, can I get this person over here?" And it's like a person putting fucking little things, little switchboard. That's why it takes so long to get Noel.
But he's like, hold on a second. He turns off his black screen, and you just see him turn around.
He's like, "Oh, you want to talk to this person? Hold on, let me put this here, put this here." All right, there.
You come over here, and there's like houses, and you see strings, and you're like, "What's that?" And you're like, you go in, they're all like the little cans.
Hey, how close is your nearest store?
Our nearest store?
Yeah. I know you said you have to drive, or you have to take a bus for like 8 hours to go play soccer. So that's why I was asking. Like,
no, I just said no. It's only a 15-minute bus, but no, the store is like we have a shop, 2 shops in town. 3, no, 4. We have 4, but they're like the closest one's like 5-minute walk from my house. I live pretty close to town, like, you know, it's pretty handy. And I live like not too far away from the bus stop as well. But like the big supermarkets and stuff, that's where my missus works. Like that's in the town over where I'm from originally. Like, but that's like 15 kilometers away, 20 kilometers away. So it's only 15 minutes on the bus. The problem is,
do
like,
you not drive?
No, I just use the bus. I've never driven my whole life. I kind of know how to drive, but I've never driven.
See, California would fucking blow his mind.
Yeah, I know, man.
That would be it for him.
Oh man, I would not go to America unless I had a license. Like, I'd be clever enough that way.
I'm telling you, you got to drive out here
because I'd want to literally just go around the country for 3 months.
I mean, you can do Uber.
You can Uber across the country.
Yeah, like I'm going to get raped in America.
Wait, you don't get raped in an Uber? What kind of Uber are you taking?
I know, man.
Well, shit, with gas prices right now, shit to get Uber out of town is like fucking $100.
Yeah, man, fuck that. Like, because people are like, oh, don't get into cars with strangers, and then Uber like, nah, dude, it's really profitable for us.
It's fine. we have all their information. They're certified. It's fine. Never met them in life, but they're fine.
Every Uber I've had has been a nice person. I mean, I'm like two times their size, but
yeah, they're like, shit, I'm gonna be nice to this one. This dude.
They have they have like their gun in their pocket, and they're just like looking back like for a good time to do it. And they're like, nah.
Yeah, he's like, not today, not today.
he's a big tattooed black guy. He probably has his own gun.
I could imagine Baish just snatching the gun out of his hand, and then could you imagine that? Imagine how terrified you'd be. Like,
just
snatches the gun out. Yeah.
You know what you need to do is just get you like a massive teddy bear, and every time you get in an Uber, just sit down and give the dude a stern look while you're holding the teddy bear. And
look at him like, yeah, this is my bear.
Yeah,
or get a Care Bear.
Throw him off.
He's like, you got a problem, Mr. Hug and Kiss?
Dress in trans and get like a real deep voice.
Like, hey, could you take me over there? Thanks, appreciate it. And then rub nosies with my bear right after saying it. Take me over there.
Have a skirt on and just sit there, spread it with your legs spread over.
Man spread,
with no underwear.
Yeah,
sitting there just like fuck it, just let it all hang out. Be like, what's the problem? Let's go.
He wouldn't even want to kick. He wouldn't even want to kick you out. He'd be too intimidated. He'd be like, "What the fuck?" Did I do?
Stop staring at my balls. Just go.
They don't even charge you when you get there. They're just like, "Get the fuck out of my car."
Got Scotch guard that back seat.
Oh man!
Get out all pissed off and throw disinfectant wipes at him. All right, I got one more here. Let's see here. A container carrying a massive 28,000 rubber ducks was lost at sea back in 1992, and still to this day found randomly washing up on shores.
Rubber bones.
River of rubber ducks, man. It's like a fetish.
That is an actual fetish, though.
Oh, I'm sure rubber ducks are a fetish.
Rubber duck is a fetish.
Are they quackheads?
Quackheads. I'm a quacker. My spouse is a what do you call him? A brony.
Or
a quacker. He's a brony.
Man, bronies are proof that men would do anything to get laid.
No shit.
I think that and being a furry. I don't know if you guys know what a furry is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you know what furries are.
Yeah.
If you're a grown ass man, you don't know what a furry is. Somewhere when you were scrolling through porn, you stumbled across a furry episode.
Yeah, right. You're sitting there looking at it like, okay.
I don't know how I feel about this.
You're like, I just better not come to it because it'll give me a weird fetish going forward. Just make sure I just enjoy it without finishing. You're just like, okay, it's getting weird. Switch to the normal shit. Oh, I'm good. I survived it. I'm good.
Next time you see Vinny, he's all giving his lady like a little fucking furry head. Like, here, put this on.
We like start a show when he pops on screen and he's like licking somebody's arm.
Hey. He's like, hey guys, yeah.
Oh man,
get out of here.
Have you heard of vabbing? This new thing that's going on. Have you not heard of vabbing? So pretty much vabbing is seemingly where ladies are touching themselves and rubbing their juices on their wrists instead of perfume, and that's what vabbing is.
Never heard of it.
Never heard
of
it. Is that an Ireland thing?
No, it's like similar thing you started over there. Everything starts in the States, man, and don't go around blaming other people.
No, it all starts in China, bro. It all goes to China first. We
It
don't
all
even get
starts
the
in China.
films until months later.
I'm gonna look this up now.
Yeah, check it out.
Vabbing.
Vabbing, I'm telling you, it's a real
Vabbing.
thing.
Yeah, you got me curious here.
Man, I'm telling
Is
you.
this like an Urban Dictionary thing? I mean,
He's like the fucking jukebox goes like, oh, it's like young whippersnappers, which are vabbing.
it's a TikTok trend.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Using your vaginal fluid as a perfume.
Mm.
Interesting.
That's fun.
You like take somebody out
Oh,
to.
can we do it?
for-
So we can do it. It'd be just sticky and white, just smell our wrist.
I'm just imagining somebody disgusting rubbing like this fishy smelling vaginal fluid.
It's like this is called morning wood. This is called
That's a great name for a fucking aftershave.
right?
Great name for
Morning wood. It's called afternoon disappointment.
Afternoon disappointment.
Expired tuna. What a weird scent.
Oh man.
What's what's that movie where the dude's got like a weird clone? Is it fucking Anchorman? And he wears a weird.
Yeah.
What's that clone called?
Sex Panther.
Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything puts on goes. Wow.
Yeah. He's like, it works 60% of the time. Every time. Oh man.
All right, guys. Well, it's about time to wrap it up. But obviously, this is
having me.
always a hell of a lot of fun, man. And we're all excited to see the release of your book, man. You've been talking about it on our group chat for a while, so
yeah.
Baish is excited. If Baish is excited for it, it must be good.
Yeah, it's there's just a lot of moving parts, and it's my first time to do it, so I'm still learning the process. Because like at the start of this, when initially I wanted it to be a comic book, and then I found it hard to find an illustrator to make it into a comic book. It's very hard and expensive. So I decided I'll just start writing it as a novel. And like I literally knew so little that I was like, shit, how does one write a novel? You know what I mean? So for the last few years, it was like learning a bit of everything, like learning how to write. And then you're like, okay, how do I write a story from start to finish? And you're like, shit, how do I make it sound good? And then you're like, how do I tie up like so many moving parts? And then eventually I got an illustrator, and you're like, okay, you have to get like all the illustrations on it, man. Like it's been such a fucking learning curve. It's been amazing.
If I was to write a book, I imagine it would go back to an editor like 37 times.
I just sent it for
my punctuations and everything would be off.
Yeah, man. What I did was when I completed the book last year, I sent it for an editorial review. So I got a professional editor, Susan Geiger, and she went in and she pretty much scoured over the book and looked for any inconsistencies and any weaknesses. And then she sent me a bunch of questions. I answered them. She came back with more questions. I answered them. And then I was able to turn an educated eye, her eye, onto my story, completely outside eye. And it's been massive, like in the terms of like what she's taught me about storytelling and about like different little things that I should look out for and about how to write and structure and shit like that. Like,
that's neat.
Like, so like I just say to anybody, if you want to be an author, make sure you get a world-class editor and an editor that's far more educated than you, and get a professional editor. Go to a site like Readsy, where that's where I got like I met up with Tia Majoran, one of my illustrators, Susan Geiger, she's the editor. And like they're professionals, and you want to be, if you're an amateur, you want to be working with professionals so they can raise your standard somewhere close to theirs, and that's all you can hope for, especially in your first go around.
Yeah, and I can't imagine. Like for me, I can write, but it's not great. I know for a fact, but fucking, they'd be like, "Why is this whole chapter one sentence?"
Yeah, man. It's just
where's your comma? Like, put a comma somewhere.
I used to be horrible for to ask any of my editors from my 25 wild days, my run-on sentences. But like I've only stopped doing run-on sentences in the past 6 months to a year, because it's constant practice, like looking at other people, how they write and where sentences start and where others finish and shit like that. But that takes a while, especially when you get excited, you're writing something fun. You're like, ta 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 ta. And sometimes
I think of you writing like Ozzy singing. Like I when you talk, I don't understand a third of what you say. But your writing is like all clean and neat.
You understand all of the things he says, all the things that go here and all the things that go there. And it's fucking legend. Right? All the things he does.
Yeah. All right. As well, I appreciate you both coming on. Baish, thanks for getting up hella early. You already do anyways when you do work. So
Yeah, fuck it.
Vinny, this is afternoon for you, so it was nothing for you, man. So
Yeah, and I got set on fire by my cigarette lighter. Jesus Christ!
But go check him out. Check out Vinny on Blood Wolf is on Facebook too, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been on Facebook. This was my author page, and I changed it. Blood Wolf came into kind of existence at the start of this year. It's kind of come from the moniker Jeremiah Solomon, the protagonist of Bones, has in the book.
Yeah.
And that's where I got the name from.
Wonderful. And then I'll add that description into the details here. And then Baish, obviously, I'm going to add Return of the Critics. I'll add links for all of your shows, Vinny, as well.
Awesome.
And, we always do this. So this is nothing new for us. We know how it works.
Check us out, green_Vinny on Instagram. And
go check Vinny out.
Watch his selfies. Just look at his selfies.
Just look at his
selfies. Look at my selfies. I'm all about selfies.
Only negative comments. Only negative comments.
Yeah, and it's like I go nowhere. So most of my selfies are in this room, in this chair. Like, so
you need your girl. Vinny, you need your girlfriend to go set up a bunch of accounts and then just compliment you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he's so short and great. Oh my God.
It's like, you don't like Hobbit like men? Because I do. Look at this guy. Look at his hairy toes. He can walk long distances without getting tired.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, I will see you later.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, of course.